Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first prime minister, who led the country for 17 years, a record that still hasn't been broken. Nehru built the IITs, established AIIMs, and set up India as a modern democratic nation. His foreign policy was based on the non-alignment movement, meaning India wouldn't pick sides between America and Russia during the Cold War. But the 1962 war with China, where India suffered a painful defeat, seriously damaged his image. Still, Nehru's biggest legacy is that he built India's democratic foundation so strong that it has survived for over 7 decades. Lal Bahadur Shastri. Shastri was only PM for about 18 months, but in that short time, he became one of India's most loved leaders. When Pakistan attacked India in 1965, Shastri led the country through the war with a famous rallying cry, Jai Jawan Jai Kisan, meaning hail the soldier, hail the farmer. India fought back hard and the war ended with the Tashkent Agreement. But just hours after signing that agreement, Shastri mysteriously died in Tashkent. His death is still debated today. Officially it was a cardiac arrest, but many believe there's more to the story. Indira Gandhi, Nehru's daughter, and arguably India's most powerful and most controversial prime minister. She led India to a decisive victory in the 1971 war, which resulted in the creation of Bangladesh. She nationalized banks, launched the Green Revolution, and made India a nuclear-capable nation with the Pokhran test in 1974. But then came the emergency in 1975. She suspended democratic rights, censored the press, and jailed political opponents for 21 months. She lost the next election badly, but came back to power in 1980. In 1984, she was assassinated by her own bodyguards, and her death triggered one of the darkest chapters in Indian history. Rajiv Gandhi. At just 40 years old, Rajiv became India's youngest prime minister after his mother's assassination. He had no political background. He was an airline pilot. But he pushed India into the technology age, introducing computers into government offices and launching India's telecom revolution. He also signed the Punjab and Assam Accords to end regional conflicts. However, his image took a massive hit with the Bofors scandal, allegations of kickbacks in a defense deal that haunted him politically. He lost power in 1989, and in 1991 he was assassinated by a suicide bomber during an election campaign in Tamil Nadu. P.V. Narasimha Rao. This is the prime minister most people don't talk about enough. When Rao took office in 1991, India was literally weeks away from going bankrupt. Foreign reserves had dropped to a level that could only cover 2 weeks of imports. Rao, along with his finance minister Manmohan Singh, launched economic liberalization, opening up India's markets, reducing import tariffs, and ending the license Raj. This single decision transformed India from a closed, slow-growth economy into one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. Without 1991, there would be no IT boom, no Infosys, no modern Indian economy as we know it. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Vajpayee was India's first BJP prime minister and one of the most respected leaders across party lines. In 1998, he authorized the Pokhran II nuclear tests, making India a declared nuclear power and sending a clear message to the world. A year later, he led India through the Kargil War against Pakistan, where Indian forces recaptured strategic positions in extremely difficult mountain terrain. On the development side, he launched the Golden Quadrilateral Highway project connecting India's 4 major cities, and the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana to build roads in rural India. Manmohan Singh. Before becoming prime minister, Manmohan Singh was already famous. He was the finance minister who designed the 1991 economic reforms under Narasimha Rao. As prime minister for 10 years, he oversaw a period of rapid economic growth where India averaged 8 to 9% GDP growth. He signed the historic India-US nuclear deal, which ended India's nuclear isolation and gave India access to civilian nuclear technology. He also pushed through the Right to Information Act and MGNREGA, a rural employment guarantee scheme. But his second term was plagued by corruption scandals and a perception that he wasn't in full control of his own government. Narendra Modi, India's current prime minister and one of the most dominant political figures in modern Indian history. Modi came to power in 2014 with a massive mandate and introduced demonetization in 2016, pulling 86% of India's currency out of circulation overnight. He launched GST to unify India's tax system, pushed Digital India to expand internet access, and revoked Article 370, ending Jammu and Kashmir's special status. He also oversaw India's COVID vaccination drive, one of the largest in the world, and led a major infrastructure push with highways, airports, and metro networks across the country. Love him or not, Modi has reshaped Indian politics in a way that few prime ministers before him have. And that's every major Indian prime minister, from Nehru's vision of a new nation to the India we see today.